might have enough money in here. God damn it. All there is just some freaking... something about new armor. Damn it. Never gonna have enough money to fucking get ninjas. Ninjas! Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back. So, I'm still... This is kind of a two thing. An update about Clash of Heroes 2 UMD and no giveaway. So, the giveaway, to talk about that real quick, is for a Steam copy of Rogue's Legacy. It's a download code, obviously, since it's on Steam, so if you haven't checked out Rogue Legacy, I do have a Forced Impressions of it that will be coming up at some point in time, probably pretty soon. But I kind of wanted to get this out. You can also obviously see the trailer. Absolutely hilarious. It captures the hilarity of it, but it doesn't go in a lot of depth about everything. It's a very silly trailer, but I think it does capture a good amount of understanding of the game. And you know, there's 5 million Let's Plays of that, and I'm sure I'll do a Let's Play at some point too. Anyway. Basically, same simple things. You need to be subscribed, leave a comment down below, and if you want, you can like the video, but it's not a requirement, but it's always a nice thing to help. Aside for that, anyone can enter, pretty much. I mean, as long as you're subscribed, you can really enter. Subscribe, leave a comment, like is an optional thing. Nothing too big or really woo there. Anyway, on to Clash of Heroes 2 information. If you want to know about that, if you're just here for the contest, then you know you already got your information. Anyway, Clash of Heroes 2. Clash of Heroes 2's information. It has passed the Sony test this time. Victor has confirmed this on Twitter. He's also confirmed that it will definitely have the English opening now on the English and Japanese version of the opening on the UMD, and that the UMDs are being in production this week, I believe he said the last time he said anything on about it. But obviously I'll try to get more update on that. Hopefully we can get some date on when they'll be shipped down, and that'll be good, because then that will be the next, you know, someone actually be like, why are you giving out copies of the Oregon Trail? What about your giant chest of shit to give away that you have in a box? All kinds of stuff, old stuff, new stuff. Nah, it's like, what about that? I want the Dragon Quest 8 that's in there. What about that? Well, that's why I'm waiting to get the Clash of Heroes 2, you know, the extra copy I got is being added into that. So, yeah, you know, if you want that, it'll be in the chest. Yeah. Anywho. So hopefully there won't be any more problems. It's past the Sony Q&A and all that crap. He said they'll always be manufactured and that, and it'll have the opening and everything, and the bug fixes and stuff that came in the digital version, while we were still waiting for the UMD. So in a way, I think it all worked out. We got the opening in there, which they were worried about they wouldn't get, because they had a small licensing issue that happened because of the music that was used in it. For some reason, while they were okayed for the game, obviously, they had an issue with the song. That seems to be a common problem. I mean, that happened in Final Fantasy XIII. The ending song couldn't get licensed for America, which is awful, because the song actually was so much more appropriate, and it actually sounds really good in the ending. I remember when I heard it for the first time, really good. And then the Final Fantasy Type 0 thing, a lot of rumors speculate the song in that game was the sole reason that it was having trouble transitioning over. One of the major reasons, because the song is supposedly so intertwined to the design of the story or something like that. And it's I don't know. It seems like all these licensed songs are just screwing over games getting sent around. That it seems like it's starting to be screwing around with shit. But But anyway, that's all okay. So that'll be good. He did on the Genji Works website revealed that the copies, because they were being delayed, he decided to tease people with that they will come with a sealed paper thing, saying like this is a official copy, so and so number that. So they will have official copy things for them. So they will probably be very interesting collector items for the PSP collection. Who knows if they'll become incredibly well, but considering what was it, 2,700 copies were made, that's a pretty limited thing. But then again, that what was that title called? Ghostlight made a physical version of it in English. UFO published it as a digital title in America, and Ghostlight actually made 800 physical versions of it in the European territories, and I was so upset about that. I can't believe nobody talked about that at all. No one, not even Operation Rainfall. I did not see a single article on Operation Rainfall talking about it. It just seemed like it came out of the blue and nobody talked about it at all. And they have no plans of putting out more on that, and that is a huge shame to me. Not simply because it's just, I've always stated I like having physical versions. I try to buy shit new in that, but I just don't like the console's digital way, because there's no real trust on whether in the future we have any real rights to play them or back them up or be able to reclaim them without a bunch of shit in the way. I mean, the 360 was definitely one of the things that really killed that for me. And considering what Microsoft did with the original Xbox's marketplace, I don't really have any trust with them. Hopefully Sony and Nintendo can actually build up some trust and actually end up in a status quo like Steam. But, that yet to be seen. But, yeah, that's just me. But, I'll probably get a Japanese version of that game. Those are pretty easy to get, but still such a shame. I would have really liked to get one. But that's probably, I remember when the Classic Heroes 2 thing, I was saying that this could possibly be one of the most rarest PSP games possibly. Well, this thing's probably going to be even more rare, because there was only 800 copies made. And of course, I'm sure there are people outside Europe that picked up a few copies. So, and I'm sure there was some assholes who picked them up just solely to sell them for way too fucking much money on the market too. That seems like a horrible thing to do these days, but sadly people do it. But still, Classic Heroes 2 is still very limited point compared to a lot of fucking PSP games. So, I'm sure it'll probably maybe have some value, but, I have my copy. I'm going to give away a copy. Carter is going to get a copy. And then I have 3 digital codes, one donated by Carter, that I'll be giving away as well. But, like I said, I don't want to start that until I actually get the physical version that I'll give away, so yeah. Anyway, and of course you could argue, since there will be 2 cover versions of Classic Heroes 2, the Kickstarter one might be even rarer than the public one. Because to get the Kickstarter one, you actually had to have been one of the people who tried to help support the Kickstarter for a deluxe edition, which sadly didn't get enough support. But for trying to help, that's what your reward was. If you wanted the Kickstarter version, if you happen to like that cover more, you could get that one. So it could be arguable that one might be even rarer. the only way the general public could get that one is if you knew someone who was a Kickstarter supporter. So that's the only way general public people are getting that one through this. So I guess you could argue there might be some loyalty to a version of it, but I'm not usually very picky into cover type things. I just want the game. I mean, the most I really care about in that kind of sense is when it's different versions like Pokemon and stuff. But, you know, that's a whole different thing. So that's the update information on Classic Heroes 2's UMD releases and that. It's getting closer and closer. I will try to keep more updated on what Victor has to say. Interestingly, also, actually, while on the subject of Classic Heroes 2, Classic Heroes 3, I actually asked him some questions about Classic Heroes 3, and while browsing Operation Rainfall one day, they had an article on Classic Heroes 3, and I was kind of like, oh, yay, some information. Here's what's funny. It's all the information I knew because the article was about my Twitters to Victor. Of course, they only took his responses to my questions, but it's still funny there's direct links to my Twitter on there. That just kind of shocked me just a little bit. I was like, oh. So, but to go on about that, I did ask Victor if they plan to change anything because they said they have the license for 2 and 3, so obviously 3 is going to come out digitally, but I asked them, like, well, plans for physical release, or if there are any plans or any new ideas or things they plan to do. And he basically said, from what it looks like, they're mainly going to do the same thing, except for, you know, the manufacturing and everything. Since that had, you know, a little trial and error with it, they obviously have a better idea how to get through all that a lot better, so hopefully none of these issues that happen will be a problem in there. But he basically said they're probably going to do the same thing. They're going to have a set number and basically have people, what's a good term for this? I guess take a ticket number and see how many people are willing to pay for it, and if they get that amount, they'll start opening pre-orders, and all those people can get pre-orders and such and such. Didn't mention anything about special covers or anything for anyone. He might do something maybe. I might ask him some more questions about that, actually. So at this point, I'll basically say, if there's any questions you would like me to ask Victor about Classic Heroes 2 or 3, feel free to leave a comment, and I will try to ask Victor about them, and we can shed a little more light on anything you might have a question of. Anyway, I hope everyone who ordered Classic Heroes 2 is happy about the very good news. Hopefully we'll be getting our copy soon. And I hope you didn't forget to leave a comment if you're interested in a Steam version of Rogue Legacy. Metroidvania! Anyway, I'll see you all next time. And yeah. Oh no, I forgot my chest.